Hi everyone, welcome to your daily tarot reading for Wednesday, the 21st of April 2021. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to use the Universal Tarot for today's reading. This is a deck of cards that is made up of only the major arcana. So by using this deck today, I'm only looking at the big universal themes of the day. Let's have a look at what the cards want you to be aware of. So I'm still going to choose my 3 cards here. I'm just going to shuffle them a few times and see what energy is coming up. So let's have a look. First we've got Temperance, the Lovers, and the Wheel. Wow, okay, so this is really positive. The Temperance card is a card that really has to do with the inner world. We've got lots of water here. We've got this angel pouring water from one cup into the other, and it's a process of purification, okay? So the Temperance card is all about finding an inner equilibrium, an inner balance, so that you can move on, you can progress on this path to enlightenment. You can see the pool here at the bottom, a path leading from it, and in the mountains we've got this sun setting, and that represents this divine idea of who you are and who you want to be and where you want to go. So the angel in itself is a symbol that something divine is at work, that either the angels are supporting you or you're supported by your ancestors or your guides, but there's something otherworldly that takes an interest in you. We've got this angel as well. And by accepting that influence and that intervention in a way, you're really able to access something about yourself that is bigger than this identity that you've got here on planet Earth. So immediately that says that you are very connected with the emotional side of things, the abstract, the spiritual. Water rules all of that. Water is about creativity and love and connection with something bigger and unmanifest. And there's a very fine line between the spiritual and the loving, and also the intuitive and the creative, because they all come from the same place. Anything that you create here on planet Earth exists first off in the spiritual realms, and it's by listening to those spiritual realms that you really can express something wonderful. And if you want to find answers to things going on here on planet Earth, the answers are also on the other side, and by using your intuition, you can tap into that and understand and get answers. We've got this orange sash, that is about control, and then we have the blue robe. So this angel is in charge of the spiritual. It's really able to take that divine energy and to do something with it in a practical way. We've got the sun in the position of the third eye chakra here. So really seeing the other realms, it's almost like pulling the veil aside and not just seeing the world, but being able to see beyond the physical circumstances and seeing to the truth and to the heart of the matter. So anything that's going on either with you or your circumstances, you'll be able to see the real reason behind that. So if you want to make changes in the way your relationships are, or you want to find something that you really enjoy, you want to have a spiritual awakening, or you want to make some sort of career progression, you'll see where you are now, and you'll be able to see the reasons and the decisions of the past that have led you to this point. So it's a moment of real completion, where you're able to see why you're in the position you're in now. You're able to see what you can do differently, how to take charge of that for different results, what you can do in a practical sense that alters the outcomes, how you can manifest certain things into reality, and you really have access to that and you feel you're in control. So that process of balance here in terms of the spiritual and the physical allows you to have a moment of time out where it's like, okay, this is where I'm at and this is ultimately where I want to go. So listen to your gut. It's going to really inform you and say, take these certain steps if you want to get somewhere in life, and really trust that your gut isn't just speaking to you from the lower self, from the voice of the ego, there is really something divine at work today that wants to give you some information which is going to help you along on your path, on your journey. Then we've got the Lovers. If you listen to this divine energy, you really end up in a position where you meet someone or something that you absolutely fall in love with. We've got this Angel again. And I like this card because I always mention this, but it's again the question of which one comes first. Do these two people meet and fall in love? And do they create an angel amongst themselves? Because there's a saying that when two or more are gathered, the divine appears. So by two souls kind of meeting, they create an angel. But you can also look at it the other way and say there's some sort of divine intervention here. The angel appears and it says, I'm going to make the two of you meet. The hands are kind of open saying, ta-da, I'm going to bring you two together. So ultimately, it doesn't matter which comes first, whether you meet someone or something that really makes you feel like, wow, this is a deeply spiritual connection. And with this card, the Lovers, in the major arcana, it's that feeling of recognition. So if you do find something new or someone new, there's an instant sense of the familiar. This is something that speaks to me on a soul level. And you're able to trust that because it's something good. It's going to add positive energy and loving divine energy into your life. So it's really safe to explore that. And the key to getting here is simply being willing to listen to what the universe has to say, letting it guide you, taking charge of your circumstances and saying, I have this time out, I have a moment to decide what I'm going to do differently, setting some goals which come through your gut, your intuition, walking the walk and going through the motions until you meet something or someone that is really significant and meaningful in your life. So allow yourself to be surprised today. Be willing to accept new circumstances or people into your life. They're really going to serve you. And then finally, we've got the Wheel, the 10th card in the major arcana. And that is a point of transition. So you can look at it as a crossroads. I always do. You get to a point in the center here and you can go in different directions. You can either turn back or go left or right or straight ahead. And it is this moment of choice. The Wheel of Fortune is objective. It doesn't say up here is good and down here is bad. It just says that at different points in life, you're going to be on top of the world and other times you're going to feel like you're at rock bottom. That is something that's constant. So change is always happening. You may not understand everything that's going on, but the wheel is always turning and your circumstances will always change. We've got the elements around this wheel. So this is the spiritual truth of the situation, that your life is always moving on, regardless of the physical or what you're experiencing with other people, your thoughts, your education, your ideas, those are always changing. And also your passions and your desires are always changing. The one constant is that you are always changing. And the Wheel of Fortune, it's usually called the Wheel of Fortune, says that your fortunes can change and they will change. But usually it's a card that says your fortunes are improving because the wheel is now turning again and things are going to look very different. So altogether, we've got a card that simply says, use this moment of emotional balance and clarity to have an emotional and spiritual timeout where you can make new decisions, you can set new goals, and you can say, this is now where I want to go. That simple process, which takes, a split second, allows you to really run into something that you love and adore. And it's something divine that you're meant to access at this point in your life. You know, it's like when you are dating or you're looking for a new partner. You can go on dates for, months and years and not find anyone at all. And then suddenly you go on one and you meet someone who you totally click with. And it's like, where have you been all my life? What's the rhyme and reason behind that? Something must have changed intuitively, spiritually, that you're now ready to receive that person in your life. Or you could say that an angel has come down and intervened in this dating process and given you what you're looking for. So it's again the question of which one comes first. But ultimately it's divine timing. And that's what the cards are saying, that the moment is now for you to progress, to have this awakening. Use that to run into something that you absolutely love and adore, and that's going to change your fortunes for the better. You'll be a lot happier with this new love in your life than you have been without it. And that's really a wonderful promise. And all you have to do to receive this energy is to be receptive and willing to have your circumstances change. If you are entrenched in thinking everything has to be as it is and I'm going to get my claws in things and I want nothing to change, then you're missing out on this energy. So just be willing to let new things into your life. Number-wise, we've got 14 and 6 is 20, and then we've got 10, which is 30. 30 reduces to 3 in numerology, and 3 is about new beginnings, and it's about communication. So you're communicating with the divine. That leads to new beginnings in terms of the new goals you're setting, new beginnings into what you actually then hit and run into, and changes in your fortunes, in your circumstances. Communication with the self, you're in control of your emotions. You're able to manifest what you want by setting these goals. And you're also communicating with the divine. It really takes an interest today. And for me, it was a big question when I first started to look into spirituality. Does the divine, the universe, the creator, whatever you want to call it, does that intervene in the world? And if it intervenes, then why doesn't it intervene in things that I judge as terrible and good? Why does it pick and choose? And that's something that's really quite an interesting question. And today, that question in itself isn't being answered, but the cards are definitely saying that something is at work, something divine is working behind the scenes, turning this wheel for you, and that's going to change your circumstances for you in a way. So you don't really need to do very much. You just need to be willing to listen and to see what is coming into your life and to be open to that. So if you're really blinkered and you're just focused on one thing and you want no noise and no information, you're doing yourself a disservice. Listen to what's coming in. Opportunities are left, right, and center, and all you need to do is look and listen and be aware. The number 3 as well in the tarot itself is the Empress. And the Empress is the archetypal energy of love and nurturing and bringing new life into the world. So something takes on a life of its own in your life and is going to bring more love in and it's going to really please you. So look out for the good things coming your way. Have a wonderful Wednesday. If you'd like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website, gregoryscott.com. On the front page, click on Book Your Reading to audio reading with me. In my personal readings, I use the tarot, I use astrology and numerology. I combine those divination tools with my intuition to give you the answers you're looking for, the questions you've got. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe to join us on this channel and share the video online. Have a fabulous day and I'll speak to you tomorrow.